I am ready now.
Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
And what can we expect? Surprises!
Engineered by Jay Timko and produced by Eric Beatty. And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Alrighty, welcome everybody to a Friday edition of the Detroit Cast. We finally made it to the weekend. I am Mike, that is Jay, Eric is here, Timko is here. How are you, buddy?
Great.
You are?
Perfect.
Perfect?
I'm glad it's Friday, man. It's been a long week.
I know.
Love it. Looking forward to the weekend.
Me too, man. More than you know. It's been a rough day. I felt like shit all day. So I'm hoping to fire up and have a good show today. And then
we decided we need some smelling salts.
Yeah. Does anyone have any smelling salts we can use? I think we could use that.
Can you just go buy those?
Probably. Why not?
Just like a CVS. Well, not CVS. We're not going there anymore.
Oh, yeah. CVS is out. Maybe Walgreens?
Walgreens, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
We should just have those down here, I think.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
Like with, when Big E was slumping hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Problem is, I would just start doing them every day.
I don't think they're addictive.
I know.
But I don't think you can get addicted to smelling salty.
I'm gonna get some over the weekend because we've had moments here.
Yeah,
where
that'd be awesome.
They would.
I want to just try. I've never tried them. I'd love to just try it and see what it does.
Smelling salts.
To-do list. Jay's to-do list. Smelling.
Got it.
Get a bunch of them. I want to try. Wasn't it Spielman who used to put them in his nostrils?
Oh, I don't know. I've seen Landon Donovan doing that before soccer games all the time. Just
really?
And you just see his head like fly back.
Yeah, they always do that.
It must be bad, dude.
Well, it's usually with a guy who's been just laid out on a football field, and then they'll wave that over his nose, and it's like, boom, he comes back.
I think they're so careful now with concussion that they don't even, want you to, get back to that state so you can think you can go back in. I think they've kind of laid off the smelling salts.
Oh, really?
It's probably antiquated. It's probably like, if you need smelling salts, you ought to be getting, examined.
Yeah. Well, they're going to do the examination anyways. But I've definitely, as late as last season,
really, okay.
Yeah, I've seen players walking up and down the sidelines, just waving them in front of their nose and kind of knocking themselves. But that's outside of a big hit.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, wake me up, let's go.
Yeah.
And that's what we need.
Yeah, that's exactly what we need. Exactly. And
because we can't get sleep. We've just it's just not working. We're not getting enough sleep. So smelling salts it is. Coffee and smelling salt.
Until money starts coming in and we can really focus solely on this, it's going to have to be smelling salts.
I'll get some.
All right.
Unless they're really expensive, then I won't get them.
If that's the case, just let me know. I'll chip in if I can. I'll return bottles and stuff from all the pop and stuff.
We'll have E just steal them.
There you go. We got you a lawyer already, so if you get caught and busted, which you will, we've got you a fine representative counsel right here.
I'd work my hardest for you. I really would. I'd do anything I could possibly do to get you out of it.
Sir. Look at him. I rest my case.
He's pathetic. Just come on. Life is tough enough on him.
Yeah. Wear your pink hat to court. Anyway.
He's still wearing the damn pink hat, by the way, everybody.
Yeah. And he's proud of it.
I'll wear it until I lose it.
Look how
into the microphone.
Right into the mic.
Yeah. All right, Biggie.
We slapped him around pre-show, talking to the fucking mic, man.
Every day, it's so funny. Since Jay got here, he's gotten more and more comfortable, and he's, it started early with the whole "he's boss" thing, and it's turned into every day I come downstairs, and these guys are usually already down here, and Jay is just laying into E for some reason. It's comical. I come down and it's not like even a joke. It's like, into the fucking microphone, man. I'm tired of reading emails of people saying they can't fucking hear you. Every day there's 3 more goddamn emails. What are you, retarded? Hey, if you're gonna be a stupid dumbass, at least let people fucking hear it.
That's the key, right?
Yeah.
We want the dumb shit on tape, man.
Oh
Put it
my
on
God,
tape.
It's hilarious.
No, I even tweeted about it today. Somebody tweeted, I retweeted, or no, I responded, and then I wanted E, per our rule, to retweet, and he didn't retweet, and his reasoning was, what, you're calling me a dumbass, you want me to retweet it? What's your
Yes.
commitment to the show, Eric?
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, not a dumbass.
I called you unprofessional.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to retweet that to my listeners.
Is it professional
My
not
listeners.
to talking to a mic when you're on a podcast?
Of course it is.
It's fundamentally unprofessional.
Because I've thought that I have been talking into the mic.
Do you care about our listeners?
Obviously not.
Dude,
He admitted it.
he does.
admitted
Okay,
it.
we're sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
We could just turn it off. We could turn his mic off. It'd be the same thing, right? He doesn't want that.
did you bring the Fidel?
Damn
God
damn it! God damn it!
Good damn
God damn it.
Worthless!
Jay is gonna blow his fucking
What am I
lid.
doing here?
I could drive home and get it. I
Please,
suppose.
now, go. Before Jay kills you.
I swear I remembered it on 96 on the way over.
How did this become my life that I'm sitting next to this motherfucker? I'm gonna wake up, right? I'm gonna wake up from this,
It's gonna be
right? I'm
yeah.
gonna wake up and I'm gonna go, Auntie M. It was in
What?
a strange world.
You're gonna wake
There
up.
was a guy without a brain.
He had a pink hat, and Gab's gonna go. You need help, Jay. Seriously.
God.
I swear I was on 96. I got onto 96, and all of a sudden I was just like, I forgot the Fidel.
Your car doesn't have a steering wheel that turns it around.
I didn't
Oh.
want to turn around after I was already on 96, I guess.
Did you see what Jay did? He took notes. He wrote it down. He's got a to-do list for the smelling salts. So
Guess
for
what's
Monday,
going to be here on Sunday? Guess what?
Yeah.
I can 100% assure you.
Not you can't
Smelling
100%.
Oh, yes, I can.
You just said if they were too much money.
Yeah, and I was joking about that.
Oh.
Don't worry.
Okay.
They'll
Smelling
be
salts
here.
will be in the house. The Fidel better be here as well.
I promise whatever on it.
Yeah.
The pink hat will be there.
Eric, can you run us through what your busy day was?
It's nothing to do with a busy day. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that my memory, like I've had times when I'm in my basement and I say, oh, before I get in the car, I need to make sure to get doesn't matter, some card. And then for the time I walk up the stairs, walk through the kitchen, and out to the car, I'll
Say,
bring
He's
it in.
describing everybody's life. That happens, dude.
I know,
right?
well,
So
I'm
what?
just
The
saying
question is,
that's what
what
I-
do we do about that?
Right.
I
Do
don't-
we just, that happens, and boy, am I a fuck up, and I can't turn my car around and go get it. Oh, I fucked up
I
again.
would've turned
Or do we take care of it, and do we say, wait, I thought of that. You know what? I'm gonna write down a note. I'm gonna, hang on to this. I'm gonna go grab my Fidel. I don't know.
Right
I'm gonna
now.
go grab it right now while I'm thinking
It
of
would
it.
take me an hour. To get
Several
there and back.
options.
Take you an hour to do what?
To get there and back from right now.
No, dude.
No,
I'm talking
no,
about
no.
before you walk up the fucking stairs of your mom's basement.
I know. Well,
You know how much Nana would enjoy hearing you play the Fidel?
if I wasn't, if I had not even gotten to 96 yet, I probably would have turned around. But I don't know. My mind is already, I was already at 96.
You were hoping to God we'd forget, weren't you?
Well, of course. I mean, that was the obvious hope.
Yeah. Well, not gonna happen.
Well, we have a big show today.
We do have a very big show today. In fact, your Sparty's taking the field today.
Huge. Tomorrow,
Today, Friday night, right?
Saturday.
Oh, it is Saturday night game. Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude. It's game day and all that shit.
Okay.
It's the big one.
Yeah. Are you excited? You worried?
I'm excited. I'm not over. You can't be overly, optimistic at all about the thing. I mean, we're going into Oregon against a really damn good team, and you
I
hope.
know, but
I know we're good. We're good.
Yeah, but-
I'm confident, but I'm not like I don't expect to win. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, it'd be-
you should. Your team is damn good, and college football is
Dude,
a
Vegas
weird
says 11 points.
11
yeah.
point. They're underdog by 11
Yes. At least as of yesterday.
with that fucking defense.
Yes.
Why? I'd take Sparty all day with that. I'd take Sparty all day with that defense. Defenses are so underestimated, unless the Spartans lost a ton this offseason and that I'm not aware of.
They did lose a ton, but their defense is
But
still sweet. Yeah.
they're a program that can rebuild instantly. When you're a good program, you
No, they
rebuild
lost.
easily.
They lost 6 players off that defense, but they plugged in some real good athletes and
Yeah.
guys who were understudies. So,
Well,
dude, it's Could we win? Of course we could. Could
Yeah.
we lose by 12? Yeah, I could see that.
yeah.
It's a tough one.
It sucks because college football is that weird thing, and it is changing because of the fact that we've got a playoff. Granted, a four-team playoff, it's kind of lame. That will change quickly into an 8, or I could even see it being like a March Madness tournament at some point where everybody's in and just round robin, let it go. But for now, it's a start. We'll have a 14 playoff, but it means that every game matters, and so you hate to think of the Spartans. How big of a problem would it be to go into week 2 of the season and lose now?
No, you'd rather lose it now and then go run the table in the Big Ten, and they're fine, you know?
Yeah, but they're probably... Well, I guess if you lost in week 2 to a very, very good Oregon team, you could still be in the talk for a top 4 seed. But better to just win.
Agreed.
Michigan with a big game as well, Notre Dame. And I like... and the Lions. The Lions we'll be back before then. That'll be a Monday night game. How about that? Starting the season on Monday Night
I didn't
Football.
realize it until today. I'm like, holy shit. They're on Monday night. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It just snuck up on me.
It's weird. Every NFL team gets at least one nationally televised game. That's the rule. So even if your team sucks balls, you get at least one nationally represented team.
And they were given the Sunday nights every now and then. They had a Monday night, 2 years ago?
Yeah, and if you're decent, you'll get up to 3 Monday night games. But the Lions always had the Thanksgiving game, which was national, so they didn't have to give them anything else, and there were seasons when they just had the Thanksgiving game.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it's going to be a good weekend, good football weekend. I'm excited.
God, that is a great weekend. Shit.
Yeah.
U of M at Notre Dame?
Yeah.
And what time is that, E?
Like 7, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's a night game, too. Sweet.
Actually, the Spartan game, I think, is like 5.
Yeah, the Spartan game is a 3
well.
o'clock start in Oregon, which would be a 6 o'clock ish start,
I thought
right?
I saw 6:30 today. But
that would make sense. Yep, and pro football starts tonight as we're recording. Yeah, I know, we're in that weird zone. It's starting now with the Packers and Seahawks going. So, I can't wait to wrap this damn show up and get to watching that and all that. But we got a lot to get to, including Lethal Injection, that back on the docket. As you said, Jay, when you first got here, it's kind of a recap show?
It is. Several stories that kind of reared their ugly head again. Came leaping out of the Astronom file.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just glad that E's been researching them this whole time, so we have great commentary to offer the listeners.
Minimum wage protest is you speak of Ferguson, Missouri.
And my favorite?
The Hot Carl.
The Pigman.
The Pigman.
God, I love this story. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait till this gets going.
Yeah, we'll get there in just a few minutes. ISIS as well, but we should probably start with a giant loss in the comedian world, in the comedy world. Joan Rivers, dead at 81. Were you a fan of Joan?
Yeah, I guess. I didn't dislike her.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that today. Like, how do I remember Joan? I guess and
I was thinking the same thing.
Like when you think Joan Rivers, what context you kind of place her in? I think of her on the Tonight Show. When she was filling in, and that was huge. When we were young.
Mm-hmm.
And just I think the idea that she was a successful female comedian.
Totally.
It was
one of the
kind
first.
of like, holy shit. Just known by everybody and funny
and ruthless, fucking brutal. Female comic. I mean, the male comics today will tell you Joan Rivers hands off, man. Joan Rivers absolutely will lay it down in a club and fucking destroy, doesn't give a shit, doesn't care who she's offending, doesn't care. She goes, and so it's hard to criticize someone like her when they'll go at anybody at any time. I love that about her.
Well, that too, and when she's willing to criticize herself.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever, everything's open.
Yep.
Yeah, yes, I've had tons of work done. Tons. Look at me, I'm a mess, and it's just that was a really cool attitude she had.
Yep. She made comments. She's a Jewish woman who's made comments about, shit, if I was at Auschwitz, I'd be doing stand up in Auschwitz. Like, that's how you get through things like that. You laugh about it, and I have so much respect for that. Especially, you expect that from there are certain male comedians over the years who have been brutal and they catch shit for it. But what I loved about Joan Rivers is She never apologized for any of it. It's the best thing about her. She proved what I said what I've said for years, which is, you know what? If you fucking don't apologize to these assholes who've never heard a minute of your show, they've never listened to your talk show, yet they hear a snippet and they hear you say the N-word and go, oh my God, it's the worst thing ever, these racists. And they pick it and they raise holy hell. If you just ignore them, just like everything else, they just go away. It's when you start swinging at them and worrying about them and apologizing and, oh, whoa, got to fix it, that people get all bent out of shape and lose jobs and whatever else. Joan Rivers said, fuck you, I'll never apologize for shit, and she never did.
Yeah, and she was right in the heart of that whole apology deal we had going a few months ago, where it was just one after another, Gary Oldman and just a bunch of people in a row. And she
Jonah Hill.
Yeah, Jonah Hill, right. and
they're... See that?
What?
I just won like that GQ Man of the Year or whatever.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah, maybe it was either the European GQ Man of the Year or... But it was one of that. He definitely won a version. I should see exactly which one it was. But he did win it. No question. No question.
Wow.
But Joan rose up during that very time when all that shit was going down, and we were every day, it seemed like, had a new apology. And she said something about those girls who were kidnapped in Cleveland and held in the basement.
Yeah.
And she made a big joke about it. And it was, oh my God, everybody, the PC police were out, and she just, whatever,
Too bad.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll probably see him on Dancing with the Stars next week, she said. Was that, I'm trying to remember if that was if she was saying that on television or if that was like a quote in a magazine or something. That was
on TMZ.
That was audio,
I'm pretty
right?
sure it was on TMZ.
But like caught on the street.
Yeah, it was caught on the street.
Can you guys want to see if we can find that? Or did we have that at one point, Timko? We might, the Joan Rivers, when she was commenting on the Cleveland situation, the three girls, I'm sure you've got that somewhere in your version of the Astronom file. If you can find it, let me know. I'd love to hear it.
A very organized database.
Yeah, an actual organized database.
Yeah. He did win. I was right, though. It was International GQ Man of the Year, Jonah Hill.
Wow. Whatever.
Ridiculous.
Well, Joan Rivers, dead at 81. Her daughter, I wonder what her daughter's going to do.
That's the one thing about Joan that bothered me, is how she how her daughter, tagged along, and she clearly demanded, I don't come unless Melissa's involved too.
Yeah.
And that bothered me, I'll have to admit.
I got to admit, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Totally.
The whole, what was it, on The Apprentice?
Yep.
On the show she did of late with the fashion and all that shit. There were prior shows too where you're like, why is the daughter, it's like Mrs. Hockey, sort of thing.
Totally tagging along. And the fact is, Joan Rivers was arguably one of the funniest women to ever walk the planet. Melissa was arguably one of the unfunniest to ever walk the planet.
She was just a wet blanket,
Yeah. It was the Joan and Melissa show, the Joan and Melissa book, but she loved her daughter, and there's probably deep-seated reasons for that. Her father, Joan's first husband, committed suicide, and Joan actually talked about how she thought about committing suicide, and she
had the gun in her lap.
Yeah.
She actually didn't do it because she wondered who would take care of her dog.
Yeah.
Her dog jumped up in her lap and sat on the gun.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, who's going to take care of Spike,
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize her real name wasn't Joan Rivers either.
Yeah, it's like a...
Malinsky?
Yeah.
Joan Malinsky? What's that?
Oh, no, I was just stupid. I just in my own head realized something and said it out loud.
Into the mic.
No, because he's right. I think Jay's about to pull it up, and he's right. The apology was on TMZ. The actual her making that comment, remember, it was on like Good Morning America.
There was no apology.
No. She didn't ever apologize, but I'm saying her refuse to apologize was on TMZ.
Yeah.
The actual comment was like on Good Morning America or something. Remember?
What is it like living under the same roof as your daughter? Why would you two do this?
Well, 4 years later, we're like, everyone's kind of going, Yeah, but I'm still in the same stupid little room. I mean, those women in the basement in Cleveland had more space. I mean, it is just the worst. The worst. We just lost that completely. Too soon?
Too soon?
Tweet them out trying not to. Oh, we don't want to indicate that was funny in any way.
Awesome. And if you notice, our response at the time was very, very serious. We did not laugh at all of that, even though it was hilarious, and it took everything in our every ounce of willpower we had not to bust out laughing because it was fucking hilarious.
Squirted a little bit of pee out of me trying to hold it in.
It's funny. You're right. In a sense, if it wasn't funny in any capacity, why would they need to come out and say, "Notice we didn't laugh"? You know what I mean? Like, why even have to? Why not just let it go and everyone would know it's not funny? They didn't laugh.
Good point. The other thing, and you touched on it, Jay, that when I was thinking the same thing, like, what is Joan Rivers most famous for? What do I remember her for? Because she's been around since 1933 in an entertainment our entire lives, and yeah, obviously the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson got her start there, but what a weird way that relationship ended.
Yeah, there had to be kind of a twisted type thing. You read, she got her own show and he never talked to her again. Well, there's more than that. There had to be a lot. I don't
know.
Really? He cares that much that somebody else is successful, that they can go have their own show?
On daytime?
I don't
understand that.
No, that was competition.
And it was an evening, but it was an earlier evening.
Show.
I think it was like a 9:30 or something, wasn't it?
I don't remember exactly. Now, she's had a couple shows, so you might be thinking of...
I guess I was thinking about the one when I was reading the bio or stuff on... I thought it made it sound like there was one in the 80s that she, after this Carson thing, and then said, then in the 80s she had her own show, and that's what it sounded like to me.
Well, he viewed her as competition, and it was short-lived. That show only lasted a year. It was like Chevy Chase's show.
I was about to say that. That was awful.
Yeah. But that's not uncommon. I've seen that in radio where, shit. I'm not going to name names. I almost named names, but I won't. A good buddy of mine, someone that sort of, Jay, from a radio station around here, got a great opportunity to go run a radio station in Canada, 89X. I'll just say that. And great fucking dude. Worked at Riff for many, many years and if you ask him about that, he'll tell you, he became an enemy of now, where that should have been a situation where it's like, hey, if you're grooming young talent, if he goes on to great success, if he leaves here and goes, hey guys, I've got my own show that I've been offered, they're paying me this, we should wish him well. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be something where you hold a guy back and you go, this is bullshit, you're a mortal enemy.
Yeah.
But that's the reality in a lot of respects in entertainment. So
it's stupid because the natural progression is you're going to move on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I took great pride in interns that came and worked for us that went on and did successful things. One of the interns that Mark and I brought in and helped is now a TV anchor in Texas. She does fucking awesome. One guy is an award-winning sports reporter up north, I believe, last I knew. So there, and
then another one's an asshole sitting next to me with a pink hat on.
We're still trying to teach him how to speak into a mic and stuff. It's like, hey, it's a different pace for everybody. 13 years in, he's still learning the basics, but he'll get there. I'm confident.
Into the mic.
8 years in.
Whatever. 8 years in, you should not.
And you could even,
I mean, like day one in, Jay knew and I knew, Timko knew to speak on the microphone. If you notice, anytime Timko opens his mouth, the first thing he does is reach up and grab his microphone.
Step number one, he puts the mic in front of his
right
face.
down into the face. Not even a thought. Not even a thought about it. So you'll get there. I got confidence. You're gonna get there. You will. So yeah.
What?
What did he do?
He got ready to say something.
I know. I was just gonna say that I did. You're right. I was wrong. The show was gonna be 11 to 12 on Fox.
No.
Saying it as a count.
See, I thought it was. I thought it was an earlier evening.
See, I love when he gets mad. He goes like this. Fine. Fine. Fuck you.
I was trying to add something.
He throws the mic as if I'm out then. If you don't want my help, I'm out.
It sounds like on this, what Carson was more mad about is that he did not find out through her that he was going to be doing a new show.
Okay.
That he found out through other people that she was going to be having this show at the time she was having it.
See, I was with E. I thought it was an earlier evening, but I don't know what I was thinking there.
It was.
I thought it was like a 9:30 to 10:30 show or something, but whatever.
Yeah, well, that could be one of those things where she's in New York, he's in LA, 9:30, 11:30. It could be. I don't know. I'm just saying. Either way, Carson never spoke to her again, which seems kind of harsh for for what we're talking about. Outside of Joan Rivers, it's a good thing to report that 92-year-old Betty White is not dead, as that was the big rumor going around.
I didn't hear that.
Yes, that Betty White had died. It was supposedly on some satirical website, and they were referencing dyeing her hair.
God.
She died today, DYED. Yeah, and people
She's
ran
92?
with that. 92, man. Yeah. I know.
And she regularly appears on stuff. You'll see her on...
She's on a show right now. Is it Hot in Cleveland? I think.
Really?
Hot in
Like
Cleveland is still... Well, and she has that prank show. She's like a prank show. I forget the name of it.
She's hotter now than ever.
Right. She has... God, what is the name? Off a Rocker. Wow. Like Off a Rocker or whatever. And it's like literally, it's like kind of a... not a Jackass style show, but a kind of a show where they do like pranks on people, and she's part of it.
Yeah, I don't know, but she's definitely doing a lot, but she's not dead.
Good.
Yeah, good to know. ISIS, these ISIS folks, man, that has been all over.
These ISIS folks.
The ISIS folks.
Yeah, these ISIS folks, just nice guys.
They're starting to think that there are more Americans involved with some of the social media aspect about what these guys are doing, just by the nature of the videos that are coming out. And I saw an interesting thing on CNN, couple things. A new movie premiering tonight, Lady of Valor, which looks absolutely exciting. I'll explain in a minute. But also they showed like, who is it? Al-Zakari or whatever, the Al-Qaeda. Is that right?
Yeah, the leader now.
Yeah.
He stepped in after Bin Laden.
Yeah. Thank you. Ayman al-Zawahiri. They showed his propaganda. Sorry, they showed his propaganda video versus the ISIS propaganda video, and they've got this dude behind with a sheet behind him, just like with his white beard.
Allah Akbar.
Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. It's going on for 15 minutes, just rambling. Looks just total amateur.
That shit doesn't work for the MTV generation.
No, it doesn't. And then they show the ISIS video side by side, and they make it like a Hollywood cinema thing.
Wow.
And they're showing the difference that these are recruitment videos meant to like fire people up, just like a movie would do, like a Hollywood movie.
Yeah,
would.
that's what we're saying. They must have something compelling, right? That's pulling these people from countries that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, well, they're
non-traditionally Muslim countries.
They're hoping for the destitute, the people that feel outcast, and they welcome them with open arms. And I guess the first question they ask them is, "Are you up for a suicide bomb? Are you up for blowing yourself up, dude?" And if they answer properly, they're in. And then we've seen all the videos. It's Disneyland. Fire your weapons and blah blah blah.
I saw a report on CNN today. There was a guy who defected just 2 weeks ago, I think, and there really wasn't much substance to what he was saying so far. But hopefully
he was from ISIS.
Yeah, he defected from ISIS in Syria.
Okay.
And basically, the big news, I guess, out of it was that he was saying that they do indeed plan to branch into other countries once they have the Middle East under control. So not much news there, but not much specifics. Well, that's what you would assume. They want to take over the world, right? But hopefully they can get more out of this cat as time goes on. And
now, is he in any trouble, or is he like are they just doing interviews with him?
Yeah, they really weren't specific as to where he's being quote unquote held or how he defected or what the circumstances were, but it was just more of a broad kind of message.
I saw a guy on one of the news channels, and he was talking about, I think it was the video of when they showed the guys all lined up together, and they've got the ISIS guys with their machine guns walking them along, and they've got them what he called the death march or the death pose, where they've got the hands behind their back and they're like head to back to the guy in front of you. Not the one where they had the 250 guys in underwear, not that video, but the one where they're all walking, head down, and in one famous scene that they've showed 1,000 times, they show a guy whose head's not fully down, and a guy with a machine gun like smacks him on the head to get down in position. Well, those guys all got marched to their grave and then mowed down, and they're all mowed down. Well, one guy with a family, he's got a couple kids and a wife. joined the military because he had no prospects, no money, no nothing here. He lives in Iraq or Syria, wherever. And for some reason, when they're mowing these guys down, he said that the guy next to him gets hit, blood everywhere, and puts the gun on him. And for some reason, he shoots, and I don't know if he obviously he missed or something, but this guy just played dead. He's like, I'll never forget it. Opening my eye that was closest to the ground, my one eye, and just seeing his boot, seeing this guy's shoe. And he survived. He was the only one that survived and somehow got out of there. And here he is giving interviews about it, just like how brutal it is. He showed him holding his kid. And I think it's the New York Times or Post, probably the Times, did a report on this. You can go to their site to see the whole video of this. It was absolutely compelling, though, to watch this guy and see how close to death he was to be. And they're showing video and like, yep, that's me being marched to my death with these. God. Yeah, just unbelievable, man. But you pulled a story here, this frustration and confusion from U.S. troops.
Mm-hmm. The few that are over there in Iraq, and I guess we talked about like 350 being sent.
Yeah.
This message from Biden the other day that we'll chase ISIS to the gates of hell,
which sounds good in a soundbite for the American
rhetoric throw out there.
Yeah, I think Obama even said something similar.
Well, I think no. I mean, he was much more measured in saying what we're going to degrade them and destroy.
Mm-hmm.
But Biden is much more. He can do that. He can do that.
Yeah.
He's the vice president.
He's got a history
Joe,
of doing that too.
Stand up over there. Yeah.
SNL used to do a brilliant bit on that. On Biden just running off at the mouth, we'll follow him to the gates of hell. Like he's hilarious.
Classic Biden. So anyways, the guys over in Iraq who are stationed there are going, well, we're not even allowed to leave the gate of our compound here. How are we going to follow him to the gates of hell?
Yeah. Hold on, Timko. Is that the video I was talking about? Okay, yeah, I'd love to show you guys a clip of that. What you're talking about, this guy, these boots on the ground in Iraq are so frustrated with the White House message about from Wednesday. We'll chase these guys to the gates of hell. They're wondering how they'll accomplish the goal when we can't even leave the front gate of our base. In fact, one of them says, the source relayed the complaint of an unnamed special operator. Chase them to the gates of hell. How the fuck are we going to do that when we can't even leave the front gate of our base?
He said, how the fuck, really?
Yes.
Nice.
Which is awesome. And true.
Mm-hmm.
And true. Which
just shows you politicians just spouting,
Yeah. It's very confusing. The president seems to be definite maybe reacting to Obama's comments about making ISIS manageable. Yeah, that whole manageable comment has people rattled. I saw the Prime Minister the British Prime Minister talking about, because they were like, well, what do you think of Obama saying manageable versus you saying destroy? And he's like, no, you want to destroy these motherfuckers. You don't want to make anything manageable.
It's probably a realistic statement, but you don't want to say that, right? I mean, realistically, extremism isn't. We're never, again, we talk about pulling the weed and the roots never really going away and sprouting up later in some other form. Yeah, you want to take out this incarnation of it for sure. Dudes are totally evil. But it's never going to go away. We can't wipe it off the face of the earth.
No, but when it becomes something where it's so clearly in our backyard, it's and when you think about how quickly it sprouted up, it wasn't 6 months ago. We didn't know what ISIS was.
There's people who would beg to differ with that.
Well, they would have said that about Al-Qaeda before 9/11. But the fact is, ISIS wasn't a real threat, even in the minds of our top politicians, unless, that I'm aware of.
Yeah, you do read some stuff that there were warnings, even a couple of years ago.
Really?
And that they just weren't taken seriously. And we know, and we've talked about how Obama named him the JV team and didn't take him seriously at first. And obviously, it's different now. But no, I think the signs were there. I think it's undisputed. But there's probably signs that other groups are there right now. And how do you manage those, and which ones do you pick as the ones who are going to grow into this ISIS force and other ones that are just going to fizzle out? It's just all these damn factions. We talk about it all the time. It's so complicated with all that.
So what's the answer? Just bail and let them work their shit out?
Bomb the shit out of it.
That's what I think too.
You
Take it to them.
affirmatively, yes.
Take it to them.
Yep.
They're starting to say that the fact that they've got Ali G on those videos is very strategic as well. That's done to show
recruit the Westerners or to affect the Western. Yeah.
Exactly. That's very specific and done on purpose. So like, hey, you're welcome as well. It's not just Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. Ali G and all the rest of the Westerners are welcome as well. All right, Timko, what do you got there? You got the video on the this is the guy that escaped
No heads.
ISIS.
No heads.
No, there's not.
Okay.
No. Trust me. I like heads less than you do. Even though it's warning of gravity.
ولا تمتد إليه يد سوء إلا وتقطع.
هذا أنا.
This is me.
متأكد منه 100% مو بس 100% مليون
I'm 100% sure.
So there's just bodies strewn everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's pointing to one saying, that's me.
In June, ISIS militants massacred hundreds of army recruits. This is the improbable story of Ali Kazem, the only known survivor.
Having a smoke. Good boy. He's with his daughter.
أنا متزوج.
I'm married. I have 2 children.
ما عندنا أي شيء. لا
We don't have anything. No work, no salary, no land. So where could I go?
يعني وين أروح؟ رحت
So I joined the army.
Ali volunteered for the military on June 1st. He was stationed at Camp Spiker, a former U.S. military base near Tikrit and 2 hours north of Baghdad. Just 12 days later, he was lying on a field, surrounded by corpses, awaiting a bullet to the head.
Just
The
12
New York
days
Times
later.
verified Ali's story using witness accounts, a Human Rights Watch report, and videos of the massacre published online by ISIS. We showed the videos to Ali. Since late last year, ISIS, known as the Islamic State, has been violently seizing more and more territory. It was only a matter of time until they reached the doorsteps of Ali's base.
We expected them to come for us. Our morale was very low.
The recruits tried to flee.
We changed into civilian clothes before leaving the base.
But it was too late. ISIS.
Toyota.
Totally.
Yellow Toyota.
Yep. About 100 people approached us. They said, we're not here for you, we'll take you to your families. But they tricked us. They separated us into cars and took control. Nobody could do anything. Every car had 2 or 3 armed people. If you moved, they killed you.
Later, the recruits were paraded in public view, marching toward their death.
Look at that. As far as the eye can see.
Wow!
Yep.
Holy shit. Thousands of people.
Then, they were corralled into dozens of trucks.
Toyotas.
Some of the men underneath suffocated.
Suffocated. I swear, they came out with their arms like this. Dead. I swear I saw it with my eyes.
They're stacked so deep that they're dying inside the trucks.
Yeah. They made us curse the government, telling them to say Prime Minister Maliki is responsible for this.
Some trucks went to nearby fields, others to the riverbank. Different locations. Same fate.
Man.
Jesus, just shooting them in the head and dropping them into the water. This is my group, but I'm not in this picture. This is the video they showed that I was talking about.
Yeah, head to back, single file.
See the guy in the blue get smacked there? They made us sit like this, the seat of death. 1, 2, 3. I was the 4th in line. As I turned, I saw the first guy shot in the head. The blood shot up. I thought that was the end for me. There was nothing more to fear. But then I remembered my family. It was a difficult feeling. I kept thinking about my family. Who will care for them? What will happen to them?
I keep thinking it's a good thing you know Arabic, Mike.
I know.
Otherwise,
yeah, we'd be in trouble. God, they become so human, though, you know? He shot first, the second, the third, then he came to me. Jesus Christ. These fucking animals. I swear he fired, but I don't know where the bullet went. The guy on one side fell, the guy on the other side fell. I heard an Allah Akbar. My head is like this, mouth open, bloodied, flies all over it. Then I opened this eye. I still remember his shoe. Then it became dark.
Hours later, after the last shot was fired, Ali rose up in the middle of the night. ISIS had a stronghold on the west side of the Tigris River, so Ali figured his only escape route was to cross to the other
You guys still
side.
into this? I ran toward the river with my hands tied like this. I couldn't really run.
But Ali had a problem. He knew that the river's strong current was headed straight toward the ISIS watch post. That's when he noticed someone along the riverbank.
At this point, I saw a man come out of the water. He's practically dead, unable to move. He's bleeding internally. He freed my hands, cutting the rope with a shell.
For the next 3 days, Ali nursed the injured man along the riverbank.
He wouldn't eat anything. I would find a worm, break its head off, and just swallow it. On the third night, I said, I'm going to cross the river. He said, go, God be with you, but don't forget me and tell people.
Ali swam across the calm channel onto the island. But the current on the far side hadn't let up, so Ali walked upriver and then tried to cross at a higher and safer point.
I tried to cross the river 3 or 4 times. The current kept pulling me toward ISIS. I didn't swim across like this because they'd see me. I barely had my head above water and pushed with my feet.
He safely crossed the river, but the neighborhood on the other side was Sunni, the same sect as ISIS. Ali, who is Shia, was afraid the Sunni residents might turn him in. Yet the first man he met offered him 2 tomatoes, bread, and a warning.
He said, if you go that way, they will kill you. If you stay, they'll kill you. If you take the bridge, they'll kill you. You're a dead man.
Ali continued onwards. He was afraid of knocking on the wrong door. He was still in ISIS territory. But, alone and starving, he had no choice but to beg the Sunni residents for help.
They were honorable Sunnis, unlike those pretending to be. I stayed 3 days, and ISIS heard about me. On the third night, they came searching for me in cars and motorcycles. But they didn't know which house I was in. So, in the morning, that family took me to the town of Alam.
With the help of strangers, Ali was shuttled through 4 locations.
We're almost done here, folks.
And more than 3 weeks after the massacre, Ali was finally reunited with his family.
My 2-year-old daughter saw me but didn't recognize me and ran off crying. So I broke down and collapsed.
God, just lying amongst hundreds, you know?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
And that moment where you got to get up and run out of that scene, right?
I know.
Where you like kind of put your head up, like, are they still here? Shit, you know?
You go that way, you're dead. You go this way, you're dead. You stay here, you're dead. You're a dead man. God.
God, we live in a great country. God bless America.
Even though E's right there driving you nuts every minute of every day.
Perspective. Everything's good.
Yeah, it is.
I love you, E.
Oh, man. We still have people like Hot Carl to deal with, though. We still...
The Pigman.
The Pigman, your favorite. Look at that. Just for the story's sake. Look at that pig face.
God,
look at that pig face.
He's a little Pigman. Look at him.
He still gets way more pussy than E.
Not anymore. Well, wait, never mind. I was gonna say not anymore, but probably not. He'll probably get just as many.
You know, half the charges against him have to do with the dissemination of those pictures.
What do you
remember,
mean?
let's reset the Pigman story. Hot Carl leaves his little boy Cooper in the car.
Yeah.
Forgets, goes inside. He's supposed to take his little buddy to daycare.
Yeah.
Instead, he drives to his work. He's an IT guy at Home Depot or something, right?
Yep.
goes and works all day long, 8 hours, comes out, it's a 92-degree day, jumps in the car, takes off, gets about a mile down the road, realizes, oh my God, my kid's still in the car. My little buddy, I never took him to daycare.
Cooked him like an egg.
Ugh. There's witnesses to him. Oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? And all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he gets arrested, and the police start to question him, and he admits, as a simple search of his computer shows, that he Googled or looked for how hot does it need to be in a car for my kid to die.
Yeah.
And
now you're talking about Atlanta, Georgia, in the summer.
They haul his wife in, put her in the the little holding area at the police station with him, and she makes a remark like, "You didn't tell him too much, did you?"
Mm-hmm.
So,
idiot.
He's charged with murder, and at first everybody freaks out. He's a great dad. I can't believe you're charging him with murder. He's already suffered enough.
Right.
Well, then these facts come out that he was apparently sexting all day long while his little buddy was cooking, and he made all sorts of these Google searches.
Was it like 6 different girls or something?
Something like that.
Yeah. So that brings us to today.
Today, he's formally been charged.
Indicted.
Indicted. The grand jury indicted him with 8 different counts, including murder.
What is the point of 8 different charges?
Well, several of them have to do with like cruelty to children. There's murder, and then there's lesser charges like.
Is there anything more cruel than murder?
Yeah, but what if they don't convict him of murder? You've got other charges that apply to the facts.
Okay,
so,
all right. I'm just asking for the layperson, Jay. I understand all of this. I'm well aware of all of this. I know law as well as you do.
Several having to do with cruelty to children, and then, like I said, a bunch that have to do with the pictures that he was sending. Criminal attempt to commit a felony. So he provided photograph and involving lewd exhibition of genitalia, that sort of thing. This is the great one, though. Dissemination of harmful material to minors, because one of the women that he was sexting with was a minor.
Did he know that?
They are charging him that he did knowingly disseminate and furnish to a minor female under the age of 18 years a photograph and visual image of a portion of the human body which depicted sexually explicit nudity. To wit, a photograph and visual image of a male in a state of undress so as to expose the male's genitals, and of a depiction of uncovered male genitals in a discernibly turgid state.
Nice. I love the word turgid. What was the
discernibly turgid?
What was the cop on the stand saying? It was erect and.
It was an erect penis.
He was sending pictures of an erect penis. I thought there was another word.
His nude erect penis. I think it was.
Was that it? He was sending pictures of his
either nude or
erect. His nude erect penis. He kept saying over and over.
Photo of a nude erect penis, and that was Detective Stoddard, Phil Stoddard.
Detective Stoddard. Yeah. Who was great on the stand.
But one of the things they say is, dude, the stench in the car was overwhelming, and so this notion that he could get in that car,
get halfway home,
get a mile down the street before seeing his little buddy in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, texting his wife. Did you get my little buddy yet?
Yeah.
Did you pick up my little buddy yet? He probably had. He's got his
smelling salts.
Yeah. He's got his He's pinching his nose. You pick up my little buddy yet? Because it stinks so bad in here. Did you get my little buddy yet?
Goddamn Pigman, that pig nose. He's got it all plugged up.
Yeah.
So game on against the Pigman.
Did you mention what all those 8 counts were?
Pretty much.
Okay. Cruel and excessive physical pain. Yeah, what a piece of shit. By the way, can we change the name Disseminate? It sounds way too much like Inseminate. And I don't like it. Every time you said disseminate, it was like, no, I don't want to hear that.
I like the phrase discernibly turgid.
Turgid's a great one. Turgid is good.
It's not used enough.
No.
Discernibly turgid.
It's like sexual congress, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was wanting to engage in sexual congress with these young females.
With his turgid erect penis.
That's right.
I still look at that face.
It's incredible, isn't it? Little Porky Pig.
Yeah.
Brie. Little buddy.
Blah. That's all, folks. Look at that piece of shit.
Man.
He's got that haircut that all the jocks have down in the southeast.
Yeah.
There's no other way to describe it than pig face. Like, there's no way.
Some of that mole right there bothers me too.
picture him like stepping up to the first tee with like his khaki shorts on and his Alabama golf shirt tucked in, you know, and just kind of getting ready.
He's got his Bama belt buckle on.
Yeah.
So it's going right down the pike, folks. Wish
Watch
my
this
little
shit.
buddy were here. Hacking away, just a hack on the course. And then, piece of shit. Yeah, it'll be interesting. One thing I found interesting about this, and I wanted to ask you, is it odd that he and his wife have separate attorneys?
No, because somebody's going to roll on somebody.
But you would think they would have already rolled by now.
Yeah,
They would have rolled Todd long ago.
Well, I think the wife will roll when they bring something official against her.
Well, he could face the death penalty, and they say at this point she's standing by her man.
Yeah, and everybody probably remembers how she was at that preliminary hearing and didn't even react when they talked about, you know, when Detective Phil Stoddard was on the stand talking about the erect penis.
The nude and erect
She didn't even react. She's just watching like she's, you know, anybody.
We got more at home. We don't need Cooper.
Yeah, her statements where she was absolutely not angry with her husband. Ross is and was and will be, if we have more children, a wonderful father.
Of course.
She said at a funeral in Tuscaloosa, a gathering that her husband also addressed via phone. Remember that one?
Wait, what was that?
He was on the funeral via phone.
The
service.
Like, yeah.
And that was before he was, really obviously a real murder suspect in the public's eyes, at least.
Oh, yeah.
People
I was going to say, I thought day one he was a suspect in the cops' eyes.
Right, but people were, he's a great father, and so they had him by phone at the ceremony and talking about how Ross is a wonderful daddy and a leader for our household.
Yeah.
That's such a Southern thing to say, isn't it?
Yeah, leader for our household. They do say that through her separate attorney, that she is absolutely standing by Ross. Police have questioned her behavior surrounding her son's death. I think everybody has questioned her behavior during that son's death, but her attorney, Lawrence Zimmerman.
Yeah, recall Zimmerman, the sweet attorney he is, pointed out that she got a victim statement in the mail, and therefore she's been rendered a victim.
Yeah,
she can't be charged with anything.
How do you charge a victim?
How do you do that?
Doesn't make sense. Why are we going to trial, folks? Why are we having a trial?
She got sent a form letter.
Yeah, that's kind of standard operating procedure.
Yeah. Zimmerman, who you arguing to, buddy?
Yeah, what an idiot. Pleading to the public. Who would do that? She's been through enough. I mean, they've already sent her the victim statement. Why are we having a trial? Come on, somebody answer that for me. Why are we having a trial here? He did say that she's living every parent's nightmare, mourning in her own private way. So we'll see where that goes. Why don't we take a 2-second timeout? We'll come back and we'll discuss Michael Brown out there in Missouri. Yeah, down in Missouri. And a lot of talk over these juvenile records. People want his juvenile, a very small amount of people apparently applied for these juvenile records. But we'll get into that and a couple other things as well. These fast food protesters and the execution problems with the IV line. That's what was going on in Oklahoma.
Doesn't sound like a problem to me.
No, not at all. Again, the end result was what it was. So anyway, we'll discuss all that next on the Detroitcast.
The Detroitcast continues after this short break. Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
Oh man, folks! If you only knew what it was like in here every day. Welcome back to the Detroit Cast Friday edition of the show with Mike and Jay, and the whole crew is here. And you just got another beatdown at the hands of Jay.
No, not
even a beatdown. Actually, it was a very well thought out and honest assessment and true, because I think you very much closed in on what's going on with Big E. It started with, I asked you what your shirt meant, like an idiot. I didn't understand your shirt. It's got two fists showcasing their knuckles, and it's one says sand, one says witch. Think like Ozzy's knuckle tattoos. Sandwich, as in knuckle sandwich.
Knuckle sandwich. And
I said, oh, like the beatdown you gave E that day, you know, and you said, yeah, I could do that again if I wanted. And E started to rag on you for, what are you, 40 years old, a T-shirt, blah, blah, blah. and then it was on. You motherfucker, you live in your parents' basement at 30, blah, blah.
Yes.
And we're off and running. And it's so funny because I think, Jay, you get, in your words, flummoxed.
I'm flummoxed by E. I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. Again, I'm always drawn to this idea that he's like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
You know, the way the whole thing operates and how this whole relationship works here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, motherfucker, you're 30 years old. You're 30 and a half, we resolved.
Yeah.
You're 30 and one half. Why can't you be more productive?
Yeah.
And I'm not specifically just saying here. I'm saying in life.
In life in general.
Why can't we move forward, man? And I hate from what or for what?
For what?
From what?
From what? Okay. From your mom's basement. Let's start there.
I've been out of there twice.
Here's the bottom line. We hear over and over, and again, I don't want to just air this dirty laundry and make, you know, you look like an ass and me look like an ass. But here's what I'm feeling, okay?
Yeah.
It's a Friday, and I've been up for a lot of hours, and I'm fucking tired, right?
Yeah, you're mad at me, you're mad at E, you're mad at everything. You're
the
mad
universe.
Yeah, I get it. And rightly so. It's tough.
Everybody's trying to pull weight around here.
Yeah.
Except everybody has roles. Everybody has roles, and we're doing our best to get through some tough shit. And there's four of us here. There's four of us here, and why can't all four of us be pulling in the same direction?
I think E has the best intentions, and E doesn't want to settle for anything. E wants to make it in this world, and
we've heard that over and over. It's
right.
His dream to make it. He wants to be famous. He wants us to succeed. Well, dude, let's fucking do something.
Yeah.
You wake up hold on. You have the luxury of waking up every morning whenever the fuck you want. You can wake up in the middle of the day if you want. But you wake up and you have the luxury of having time. That's what Timko and I in particularly do not have. Mm-hmm. We get up at everybody out there works hard. They get it, okay? We're working full days, and you're getting fucking up. And dude, the thing you have to ask yourself is, what can I do today to move this forward?
In my mind, I try to do anything I can. I'm not a fucking self-starter, okay? I admit that. I'm not a self-starter. If you fucking tell me to do something, I'll fucking do it. In my mind, I try to do it.
Talk on the microphone.
I do wake up fucking every morning. I go through fucking shit in my mind looking for show prep stuff. But if you texted me 100 times in a day and said, I need this, I
guess that's the problem, is I'm so busy with work that I can't lead you by the nose.
Okay, well, I'm doing what I think I can do.
I need you to be a self-starter.
Yeah.
I'm doing what I think I can do. I guess.
Biggie, you've got 13 years in the business. You know how this rolls. You've been a part of 170 some episodes here. You know the rhythm of the show.
He's right. And you're not wrong, by the way. He's not wrong. I get that. That's maybe that's a very bad quality in me, I guess.
The thing is, anything worth doing in life, everything is hard if you're going to do it, right? Nothing here.
And I don't want it to be easy, by the way.
No, I know you don't. And nothing that you're looking at here down in this basement just appeared. None of it. Everything here was bought and built, and from nothing but fucking us. We built everything down here, and that's not a shot at you or anything.
No, I know.
But the point that Jay's making is it doesn't just do it. You're not just going to wake up one day and be famous.
Here's what drives me nuts is when people
totally
talk about shit and they don't do anything about it.
I don't think that's
all right.
I don't
I'm
believe that's
sick
what
of
I'm
talking
doing,
about getting Kickstarter done. I'm sick of talking about advertising. I'm sick of talking about next steps here without shit getting done.
I totally.
He's talking to me as much as you.
I know.
For the record.
I mean, it's not. I don't do nothing. I guess you're right. I'm not great at self. I think I'm not great at self-starting because I don't really think I know what I'm supposed to do. Not from you, from me. I'm an idiot.
That's fair. Don't
crawl into this. I'm an idiot
That's
thing.
not what I'm
That's a
doing.
total
That's not what I'm
crutch, dude.
fucking doing.
You are a useful person who can move this thing forward. You've got
not
a
what I'm
brain,
fucking
and you've
doing.
been doing this for 13 years.
That's not
So
what I'm
contribute,
fucking
dude.
doing.
And the
Step
fact
up,
is-
be a man, be a 30-and-a-half-year-old man.
okay?
Step up and work, dude.
I get it, dude.
And the fact is, you wouldn't be here if I thought you were an idiot.
I know.
You
I
wouldn't be
get
here
it.
if I
get
thought
that.
you were an idiot.
I get that.
You would have been gone from the Drew and Mike show long,
I know,
long
that-
before,
that-
dude.
that's
And
fine.
I thought when I first brought you in, I thought you were a fucking idiot. And quickly I learned that you weren't an idiot.
That's fine. And
You
we've already
weren't.
talked about that before. I get it.
Right?
Hey, when Mike was gone, we pulled off the show, right? You
Right.
sacked up, you sat down, you prepped,
the
you
same-
thought about shit, you thought shit
do that
through,
same shit
and
every
you
day.
pulled it off. You sat at the seat and you talked with me like a
do that.
fucking human being with a brain. Why is it appropriate now? Because Mike's back and me and him are the
You're talking
primary.
about one beer.
Hold on,
I do that
hold
every
on,
day.
dude. Half
do
the
the
time
same
we
stuff.
sit there and we go, pull that up, and you're over on fucking Facebook. What the fuck is Facebook gonna tell you during this show? Pay attention to the goddamn show and help
Yeah.
move it forward.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That is right. I find myself doing, and that's just not an excuse. I find myself doing that even when I'm watching TV and looking at nothing. I'll watch TV and have to rewind.
Well, then you
and
need to
fucking
think
something.
about it
You're
in
right.
those moments.
You're right.
What the fuck am I doing?
I do. I had a moment
That's
like that
what-
today. I had a moment like that today where I was
Yeah.
watching something from last night. I was watching Inside Edition from last night, and I literally had to rewind the story 3 times. I wasn't even on my phone. And I'm not saying this is an excuse. I'm not saying this is an excuse. You're right. I'm wrong. I should be fucking more. You're right. It's something You're right.
And I do this, dude. I can do the same thing. I can watch something or read something and fucking read it 10 times over and go, God damn it. Pay attention. I find myself reading it going,
Right, yeah.
pay attention, you idiot. Pay attention, pay attention. And I've read it 15 times going, pay attention, pay attention. And I'm not understanding it because I'm telling myself to pay fucking attention. So I get it, dude. I get what that's like, but
No, he's right. I'll turn it off. I won't even. You know what? I'll have it. I won't even have it logged down anymore while the show's going on. How about
I think what Jay's point is we're at a point right now where we've built this thing to what it is. We're all happy with the product that goes out. People seem to be happy and enjoying the show that's going on. But behind the scenes, there's not a team of guys outside of the 4 of us that are gonna fucking do anything. Nobody gives a fuck if we crash and burn and this thing dies and nobody makes a dime. Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
There's no station out there that's dying to help us. There's no person out there dying to help us. It's us, brother. And so I think Jay's point is, listen, man, everyone in this room, including myself, trust me, man, Jay's had many an argument with me. It's half the reason I brought him here because I needed someone to come in that could kick my ass when I wasn't doing my thing. Just because he doesn't do it in front of you doesn't mean he doesn't call me and fucking ream me out too.
I'm not worried about that at all. That's, you know me. That's something that doesn't faze me. I would never sit there and be like, oh, he's yelling at me, but he isn't yelling at. So I wouldn't.
Here's the deal,
is.
E. You've got a brain. Let's fucking stop using this. And here's the one thing I'll say: E is not a character. This is him 100%. What you hear and what you see.
Fact.
This dude is a one of a kind.
Yeah.
And so the idea, don't fall into this, well, I'm stupid and that's my character and that's what people know of me. Fuck that, dude. You've got a brain. Help us move this shit forward. Do your part, man. Pull your weight.
That's right. And we all need to do a better job of it. So we all will.
No, he's right.
And I'm not perfect either, dude, by the way. Okay?
I get it.
So tell my ass when I'm falling short as well. I mean,
twice this week we wrapped up the show and Jay walked upstairs and said, fuck, dude, I'm sorry. I sucked. I was falling asleep during the show. 2 days he said that this week. It happens to all of us. We all do that. But that's what happens when you're going 17 hours a day and you get home and you think it shuts off for him. You don't have to go home. Well, you go home to a mother that does it, but he goes home and his wife goes, hey, idiot, what are you doing? You spent how much money, went to how much school, and you're doing this shit with a bunch of boneheads for nothing?
Right,
I go and I have to deal with Beth. Timko goes home and has a wife and kids to deal with. Like, we all have to deal with that shit.
Right.
It's not, we all have our own mom in our basement mentality to deal with in
and
some
I
way.
wasn't insinuating we didn't even talk about this on the air about the living at home, so I don't even want to go down that route or whatever. But I mean, I get it, dude. You're right.
It is what it is.
I
But
really
the fact
do in my
is,
mind. I
dude,
will say this in my mind. I get it. Maybe I'm not. I'm not doing enough. But I will say in my mind, trust me. Other than I went up for a weekend. Other than that, I get stuff like that. But trust me, most of the time in my life, I don't like doing stuff unless in my mind it's doing something towards this. Now maybe the stuff I'm doing is not going in the right direction. Maybe I should be channeling some of the efforts I've used at some of my stuff towards a different way. But trust me, I fucking hate in my mind at times if I felt like I didn't do enough in a day. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I do. I see some of my friends in their lives and stuff they're doing, and I don't want to end up like that.
Fuck
so,
no, you don't. Hell no, you don't. But that's Jay's point. There's a way to sitting there doing nothing ain't gonna get it done.
Right.
The fact is, if I didn't think this show was capable of reaching extreme heights, I wouldn't waste my fucking time, dude. I've made plenty of money doing this for real at real radio stations. I could go get a job at a real radio station tomorrow and shut this shit down tomorrow and never look back. Jay would go be a lawyer. You'd go be an IT guy, and we'd be back to where we always were.
Right.
This would be very easy to do. But I believe in every person in here and what we're doing. So, it's a tense time. It's a tough time. But I think we're fucking close. I do. And
just sack up and stop giving yourself excuses and crutches.
I don't think whatever.
Be a man, dude.
I think there's less of that going on than you think, but I guess
we'll move forward.
I disagree to agree on some of that, I guess.
Disagree to agree on something.
Agree to disagree.
Perfect.
And on that note, we will disagree to agree. Jay, we are going to disagree to agree on this.
God damn it, me.
How did I get here? How did I get here?
I called you.
Yeah.
I called you, and you were dumb enough to show up.
Hey, I just turned off Facebook, Jay.
What a brilliant lawyer you are, Jay. You didn't have to answer that call. You hardly ever answer the calls, just like I didn't answer your calls. It's just the way we are. But you did, and here you find yourself. And it'll take it to the promised land one day. I swear to that.
I just wanted to say to Jay that I did just click off my Facebook.
For the first time in 8 months.
Oh man, hey, why don't we move on? We don't have a ton of time, and then we get to the weekend. We can all calm down. We're off and running. We'll have a good time. You got Sparty to root for. You got U of M. We got a lot of good going on this weekend. But I found this interesting. No top felony convictions for Michael Brown on his juvenile record.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. How a couple of news organizations, only a couple,
and you do mean couple,
only two.
Yeah.
Are pressing to get his juvenile records.
Why is that? Why is it just the St. Louis Dispatch?
Isn't that something?
It's amazing to me. It's beyond something. It's amazing. Like, I would have thought thousands, every media outlet in the country that was focused on this story in little old Missouri would have wanted to know everything they could. That's their job.
Yeah.
Why are a Post-Dispatch and some stupid website?
Thousands of investigators looking into the police officer. But only 2 organizations looking into this issue with Trayvon Brown. But we learned today a court representative came out and said, we're not going to decide the issue whether the records will be disclosed right now, but we will say that he never murdered anybody.
Yeah. Wait, how did they say it? He's got no A-level or B-level felonies.
Yeah.
Basically meaning he hasn't killed anyone.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, oh, good. We weren't really assuming he had. But
yeah.
We'd, like to know about any other robberies or whatever.
Which is funny, and we've kind of talked about this from time to time, that anytime you have a story like this that's grabbed the national spotlight and is everywhere, you're going to have these people, whether they're on the lawyers for Michael Brown, his team is going to be digging into anything they can find about Officer Wilson to find any sort of hint of racism. It's just the way, that's their job, so that they can slam this guy and go, see, it just bruised his character. They're going to smear him all they can. Well, this side, apparently a much smaller group, is trying to find out anything they can about Michael Brown. And what I don't understand is, why would they even let us know this? If they're not going to let the whole record out, why are they coming out and going, he doesn't have any big things like murder?
Weird. It is weird.
Why would they do that?
Just no idea.
And
thinking that might, stave them off or something. No, they still want the information. But like we talked about yesterday, it really isn't relevant. Not at this point. If there was a wrongful death suit or something like that, it would be. But at this point, where the consideration is, are we going to charge the officer?
Yeah.
It's really not relevant what this dude did in his life as a juvenile. Obviously, you and I would love to know, and it would also sort of allow us to form this opinion of what kind of guy he was and whether he was the sort of guy who would charge a cop.
Yeah.
But
and I think that's really well on one level it's important, right?
Just know that in the rules of evidence, without getting too geeky on you, there's a lot of the rules focus on let's not allow evidence in about what person did or what person A did in situation X years ago to prove what they did in the situation that's at issue.
Right.
It's just not reliable. Relevant. It's not reliable to say that that person acted that way in the instance that's being looked at.
But it goes to a bigger picture of an overall character of someone. Not that someone can't change.
But there's just a lot of limitations on character evidence is what I'm saying under the law. So when this judge is looking at it, those are the things they look at. Like how how is this relevant to any legal issue?
Yeah. Well, I think back to like when we were younger, for instance, if we were in a similar instant, got into an altercation with a cop of some sort, and they were trying to smear us, and they wanted our juvenile records, and if you looked at my juvenile record, you'd see multiple MIPs, you'd see which minor in possession. There's all kinds of things that you'd probably not a whole lot, but you'd see some things that you probably wouldn't want as a fair and honest description of me as a person, especially as an adult now.
Right. We've all done a lot of dumb things when we were 15, 16, 17.
Yeah.
That we wouldn't want to say,
see, look.
Yeah, is evidence of our character today, right?
Right. And that could be said with everybody.
But he's an 18-year-old, right? So
yeah,
much closer in
much
time.
Closer.
Could be months prior.
Yeah. And in fact, that day, that with the convenience store. Now, do you think that would be? Of course, that would be admissible in court. That they act like it's character assassination. To me, it's totally relevant.
That comes in as to why the guy stopped and backed up and.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that how that fact played out? He initially told him get out of the road. They swore at him or whatever, and cop was sort of leaving, and he got the report or the description, and that's why he backed up and.
Yeah,
talked more with them,
and they all act like the cop didn't know. That was the big story at the time, that the cop didn't know that he had done this. Yeah, but Michael Brown knew he did that.
Yeah, and he knew a cop is sitting there questioning him.
Yeah, of course he's gonna think, oh shit, he's coming after me for the fact that I just strong arm robbed. This isn't shoplifting. There's a big difference between shoplifting and strong arm robbery. That's the story in here.
Yeah, well, he stole some Swisher Sweets.
Yeah, I've told the story about the time when me and my buddy were in the store stealing Brock's candies, and my mom reported us to the manager at the store. Like that's like strong arm robbery is a hell of a lot different than shoplifting, where you're trying to avoid anybody seeing you. Michael Brown in that video didn't give a fuck who saw. He's reaching over the counter. The guy comes around, and then he gets in his face using his 6'4" frame to intimidate the guy. Mm-hmm. That's a felony. That's
the gentle giant.
Yeah, the gentle giant, just on his way to Nana's house. And now, after all of this, we see. Remember, Eric Holder went down there. The AG, the Attorney General, the most powerful attorney in the country, goes down there and is sitting in for I don't know if that's a PR move or whatever, but now you've got the Ferguson police coming under investigation, and I don't know where that goes, but
yeah, like a civil rights investigation, looking at their arrest records to see how many minorities were stopped versus non-minorities, that sort of thing.
Well,
of course they look at population when they determine that.
I hope so. Yeah. You're in a city that's 90% African Americans.
Yeah.
Of course there's going to be a disproportionate amount of black people that are arrested or pulled over.
Yeah, they're not requiring 50-50, I'm sure, in this instance.
I would hope not.
No, but you knew something like this would come of that, right? You send the Attorney General to this little...
Look into it, yeah.
He's got it. That's the least of it, I would think,
You think so?
Comes away with, we're going to investigate you.
The percentage of stops for certain ethnic groups. Well, I would imagine it'd be a major percentage of stops, just like it would in any city that's primarily a minority.
Mm-hmm. No,
That's
I'm sure they take demographics into account when they do that.
And I don't know how much time we've talked about this whole deal of, well, they've got 53 officers and only 3 of them are black. Like, okay, well, were they turning away black applicants? Is that the problem? Because the fact is they can't make black people want to be cops in Ferguson, Missouri. Now, if they were turning people away who were good cops just because of the color of their skin, then there's an argument. Otherwise, well, okay, well then more black people need to apply for jobs in Ferguson. Until then,
is that a wrinkle to the investigation that they're talking about?
Well, it's just always brought up that there's this disproportionate amount of people versus the police force, and it's an all-white, basically, police force versus you've got a low-income minority resident area, and you've got a police force that's primarily white. Well, unless they come up with some stats that say black people were applying for many jobs as cops in Ferguson and were turned away for white police officers, unless that's the case, then I don't think you have an argument. What are you bitching about? What are they supposed to do?
Right.
Turn white people away as cops because seeking out black people to do the job? I mean, it just seems ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous that the Attorney General is focused on this when we've got real issues in the world, for real, but whatever. And then we have this. I thought this was going away for real, but
the minimum wage.
Yeah, the minimum wage thing is still apparently it's gotten ramped up again, including in this area.
Mm-hmm.
We had some arrests. It sounds like it was all peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
People protesting outside of McDonald's and
$15 an hour, right?
Yeah, it seems right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's it going to be? That now they're going to charge $10 for a Big Mac? I mean, that's what would happen, right? It's just,
I just love it. Like, we can't make a living wage, at this. Right, you can't at that job.
Yeah, that's why.
And you ought to look in the mirror and say, why am I in this job? And if you can honestly look in the mirror and nothing comes to mind that something you did in your past could have contributed to the reason that you're there, then I feel bad for you. But I think 99.9% of you could point to maybe some personal responsibility as to why you're
just a bit
why you're an adult and you're trying to feed 3 kids at a McDonald's type. Yeah.
And why does nobody bring that up? Why does nobody talk about the fact that maybe dropping out of school in 9th grade and not doing much of anything except having kids and living off the government? Not saying that that's the case with all of these people, but a strong percentage of them. I find it very hard to believe that there are a lot of people that graduated high school and went to some sort of college or tech school and are now stuck making $6.50 an hour at McDonald's.
Right.
That guy doesn't exist because he did something for himself. So when we were growing up, you didn't see many people at our age working at McDonald's. It just didn't happen. It was that job, flipping burgers and throwing fries in the grease pit, was for 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
Getting a work permit and their first job.
And this idea that, somebody ought to take care of me, I've got this gap in my income. Somebody fill that.
Yeah.
Well, now, when you go to apply for a raise, you go to ask your boss for a raise, you have to have a cost justification. You can't just say, hey, I want more money.
I know.
Right. What are they going to, if you give you $15 an hour like you want, what are we getting back?
Right.
Is my burger actually going to look like the ones in the commercial, not like somebody sat on it?
Yeah.
Kind of
the
thing.
Same shitty service you had before.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, we all, everybody's most likely worked a job like that, if not McDonald's, something in that realm and whatnot. But then we improve ourselves. It's like, this is not going to pay my bills, so you seek something different, and
sort of common sense.
Yeah.
Instead of going, well, take care of me. I want to stay in this. I want to stay right here. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that because that's harder. Go outside of this and better myself. That's difficult.
Yeah.
I just want to stay right here, and you can just pay me more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Don't we all wish we could do that? But it just doesn't. It never has been. It wasn't supposed to be, and it never will be a job that pays $15 an hour. It shouldn't be. And the fact that these people don't, what they don't realize is if you do make it a $15 an hour job, all of a sudden those people that make that really do $15 an hour jobs are going to go, fuck, well, I'll go work at McDonald's. That's a hell of a lot easier.
And then guess where you're going? You're done.
And then you're done out on the streets with picket signs going, we need jobs too. We need jobs too. The fact is you should aspire to get out of McDonald's. If you're 25 and you're working at McDonald's and you're not a manager, you're probably not making the best decisions in life. That someone's quote in here was, I shouldn't have to choose between making my DTE payment and my mortgage payment or feeding my children. Well, you know what? Most of us that worked at McDonald's or Burger King or Checkers, that was for gas money. It was for beer money. That's what that job provided. That's the point of those jobs. So I just think it's
just, again, personal responsibility, man. Instead of looking for someone else to take care of you, you know?
Yeah. And unfortunately,
no. Don't look at me in that
Jay just
bullshit.
looked at Eric.
For one, I'm so on your guys' side on this. I know. Look, I know how I got to where I am in life. I'm not. The point is, I totally agree with this. If they make it $15 an hour, then someone, even like me with a fucking associate's degree is going to go to McDonald's and start working, and they're not going to have a job anymore. Of course, I'm not.
Take solace in knowing, Eric, that nobody in any of these stories could do your job. None of them.
I hope
seriously.
So. I hope so.
There is a value to you.
No,
There's a value to you. You're unique in your own way.
I know he was
just solace.
I know, and I know he was maybe kidding a little bit, but trust me, no matter what you do think of me, I'm not stupid. I take full.
That was my point.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant I take
Prove him right.
I meant I take responsibility for where I am. If I don't make it,
you mean you're not going to pick it outside Radio 41 Studios?
I'm not going to blame my mom. I'm not going to. My mom and dad didn't even want me to do this, so I'm not. I'm just
sons of bitches.
No, but I'm just saying I get it. If I don't succeed, I know that it's on me. Don't get me wrong in that. So I just don't want you lumping in with these guys picketing for $15 an hour McDonald's sandwiches.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't succeed, I don't want you to look back and feel like there was more you could have done. You know what I mean? If this thing doesn't work, I want you to be able to look back and go, "Fuck, man, I gave it my all." You know?
Yeah. I think that's what we all want.
Yeah.
You don't want to look back and have any regrets.
Just trying to think of some other.
I don't so far. That's what you want from me.
I think, Jay, we can come up with some other ideas to keep Eric busy during the day. Like I'm
getting another job, so that'd be good enough.
Well, I was going to suggest, like, maybe because how many times you go to McDonald's,
I'll never work at McDonald's ever.
No, I'm not suggesting that, but what I'm trying to get to is, like, how many times have you gone to McDonald's and other people that you see back there, like, half of them are just standing the fuck around, and they want $15 an hour. We send Eric there with a camera, like, videotape it, and then just stir shit up. It's like $15 an hour, huh? Standing around, Chief. Maybe.
I couldn't do that because almost every minimum wage job I've ever worked at, I've not been the greatest employee. So
shut down already.
Something to be proud of. Well, one thing you don't want to do is jack off in someone's coffee if you get mad at them, or for a hot chick, like this guy in Minnesota, this guy that works at a hardware store.
Monster.
Yeah, he's got the hots for some chick. So what does he do? Beats off in her coffee to the point that this girl thinks that something's wrong. She's like, I thought it was sour milk. This guy turns out he's jacking off on her desk, on her seat, and then taking her hair scrunchie to clean it off.
It's on video. They catch him on video.
He admitted to it. Yeah. I don't know if they got it on video. I didn't.
Caught Panoose in hand. Did he?
He was caught like with his hands on his crotch. Now it doesn't say if his zipper was down or what, but she walked up like, "Hey, what's going on?" And he turned around, total deer in headlights, and was like, "Oh yeah, I was just looking for you. I had a question and stuff or something."
What a fucking animal.
Yeah. He says because he was attracted to her, he repeatedly jacked off on his coworker's desk, ejaculating into her coffee because he was attracted to her and wanted her to notice him.
Oh my God!
I don't find what's wrong.
You don't see anything wrong with this?
No, that's what I've done with all the girls I've
His name's John Lind. He's 34.
Uh-oh.
Going places, John. He told police he came in the woman's coffee cup twice since February and finished on her desk another 4 times, which means he came in her coffee like 80 times and finished on her desk 8,000 times.
Right, he's not going to admit the actual numbers.
Yeah. Using one of her scrunchies to wipe up the mess.
Oh my God.
He even admitted he knew it was gross and wrong. The coworker eventually noticed Lynn catching him at her desk with his hands on his crotch. She told police, the whole deer in headlights thing. He tried to cover by telling her he'd just come to ask her a question, but the evidence was damning. The worker told police she inspected her desk and found fluid on the surface dripping onto the floor. God, what's wrong with people? They're walking amongst us, as you say, Jay.
They're absolutely walking amongst us. And let me ask you this: a scrunchie?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm picturing, like an elastic thing for your hair?
Yeah.
Do chicks wear those anymore?
Yeah, they do.
Like see that? All right, I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, sometimes they're scrunchies, sometimes they're just those rubbery.
I'm sort of blaming the victim right now. So
Yeah,
that's where I'm
a
going.
little
Like,
bit.
what's this chick like? She's wearing scrunchies?
Are you saying she wanted it, Jay?
A lot of what was dripping on the floor, a lot of it had been absorbed into her hair scrunchie, which she put into a plastic bag.
Gross.
When at the scene, officers collected her coffee mug, coffee, and scrunchie. The coworker also said Lynn had approached her with his zipper down so many times that she was considering reporting him for harassment. He now faces a couple counts of criminal sexual conduct, with the possibility of a year in jail and $4,500 in fines.
God,
how do they come up with that number?
Deserves 10 years in jail.
At least. The victim told police she had noticed her coffee tasted strange recently, more than just twice since February. Shock. She initially suspected spoiled cream. Well, that's kind of true. And after they told her what Lynn admitted to, she's like, I knew it! I knew it!
She's been drinking cum the whole time.
Care to see what he looks like?
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Is he everything that you would think he would look like?
Everything you'd think he'd look like. Ta-da!
Nice.
Doesn't he look like a guy that would jack off in your coffee?
Fucking asshole.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's got sort of a pigment about him.
Back to the scrunchie.
He looks very sure of himself with the hands crossed. Back to the scrunchie.
Back to the scrunchie. Was the scrunchie just the only thing sort of made of fabric that would help clean it up in a quick...
Probably.
Or was it some sick thing like, hey, I'm going to put cum all over her scrunchie and she'll have it in her hair? You know?
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Because I don't think... If I'm imagining the scrunchie, it's not super absorbent. It's kind of like a weird, just all... You know what I mean? If you tried to mop something up with a scrunchie...
Yeah,
is that really effective?
He wasn't doing a bang-up job cleaning things up. I'm thinking with the scrunchie.
Well, don't you think that's, as we always go to, that's one of those things where he's doing it. He at that time or that instant, he's excited about it.
Yeah.
And the minute he's done, he's probably just like, oh my, I gotta get this cleaned up. Fuck.
How much ejaculate was it?
Let's just
dripping off the chair.
Put the coffee aside. Put the scrunchie aside. You're whacking off at work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're at work.
At someone's desk, by the way.
At someone's desk, whacking off.
Yeah, and it's a hardware store. I'm thinking jeans. Like where you would think someone else would walk up at some point. I mean,
yeah. How long is it taking him? You're right. Like
maybe he's in the bathroom getting right close to his mom, and
he runs out.
Runs out, finish in the coffee cup. I don't know. Why is she? Well, I was going to blame the victim again, but why is she leaving a coffee cup sitting there unattended?
Right, I would never do that, no matter where you're at.
I have a good mind to come in a coffee cup, fill it with coffee, and see if Eric notices it and thinks it tastes like spoiled milk.
Well, I don't drink coffee, so I might just think that's how coffee
Your
tastes.
Mountain Dew, whatever.
Wow, coffee tastes like cum. That's weird.
I don't know. How would I know what it tastes like cum? I haven't ate cum.
Oh, I don't know.
You've ate cum before.
I have never ate.
Yes, you have.
No.
You've never shot a little bit on your face and then...
No.
You liar. You liar.
No.
I don't believe you.
Biggie, you've eaten horse shit.
I have never put cum in my mouth.
You've eaten shit. Horse shit, human shit, and dog shit.
Never human shit.
Drank piss.
Never human shit.
Oh, excuse me.
What was it? Horse shit, dog shit, rabbit.
Rabbit, and dog.
And you pissed in your own mouth.
And I snorted bird shit also.
You snorted bird shit? How do you snort bird shit?
It was like white, powdered out white. We were at Cedar Point, and the next day we woke up to a bird had shit on my friend's car, so it was dry. So I decided I was going to kind of fit it up and got a little...
And therein lies the value in Big E.
There you go.
Snorted bird shit.
Thank God. Thank God.
You pulled your load for today. Good job. That story right there.
Literally. And on that, why don't we call it a day? Do we have any email to go over?
Let's hold off on it.
Okay.
I'm collecting a couple of it.
The Kickstarter, we've been on the phone with them. I haven't gotten a call, Jay. I don't know if you have.
I have not.
Okay, I haven't either. They said they'd call hopefully by 11. We talked to them within the hour during the break. That's what we did, and we've gotten the proper documents sent to them. So I think we're at the final step. We will definitely be on social media the second it's up and live. So don't worry about that. But anyway, wanted to just give you an update on that. If you're wondering after listening to yesterday's show, like, hey, I thought this was going off. It's part of the reason we're all on edge, and as we're getting these final things wrapped up, and there's always hiccups involved. So with that, stay tuned. There's a lot more coming, I promise. Thanks, everybody, for hanging with us. Have a great weekend. Great. What a sporgy of a weekend we're about to have.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited, and I'm excited for Monday as well. So we'll see you then with a brand new edition of the Detroit Cast.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit. Listen to God, watch you grow. You know not what remains that love. All just